show, the once upon a time, the once upon a time show, the once upon a time, the once upon a time show, the once upon a time, the once upon a time show, the once upon a time. Once upon a time I used to walk like a thug, grill on my face like I don't give a fuck, fingers all crossed saying de corazon. Did it all wrong, got my sanction. I can't tell you my story in just one rhyme. Check it out, everybody. It's once upon a time. Once upon a time show, once upon a time. Once upon a time show, once upon a time. Once upon a time show, once upon a time. Sit back, everybody, because it's time for once upon a time. Welcome to Chit Chat Time here on Once Upon a Time. My name is Said, aka Little Mario. This question has been asked to me many times. Why did you join a gang? What made you join a gang? Okay, I can answer that question. I have hundreds of reasons why I joined a gang. Everybody has their own opinion on gangs. Everybody has their own whatever on gangs, how they feel about gangs. This is my story on why did I choose to join a gang. So I'm gonna have to, again, like on all my videos, start from the beginning so you could get a better understanding of why I chose to join a gang. Everybody else has different reasons. You know, a lot of people want it for protection. A lot of people, they say they were born into it. A lot of people, you know, it's the society or whatever. Once upon a time, I chose to join a gang, a group, an association, a club, a posse, a family, an organization, whatever you want to call it, that's what I joined. You see, society and the media is what gave a bunch of people, that's a family or whatever, that title, a gang. So that's why, you know, we use that term, a gang. Me, being raised in the 80s and the 70s and all, you know, we used to call it clubs or a posse or a crew. You know, we had a lot of crews, you know what I'm saying? Then, of course, they started changing to gangs. The only time we heard that word gang back in the days, I'm talking about the 70s and the 80s, where when you actually were talking about outlaws. These were the gang members in my area. You had all different kind of clubs, gangs, groups, association, whatever you want to call it, in my neighborhood. So, as a young child, I'm just going to go back to 8 years old, okay? I could probably remember longer than 8 years old, but I'm just going to start at 8. At 8 years old, I remember that we were living in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Now, we used to live on 53rd Street and 6th Avenue. Between 53rd and 54th Street and 6th Avenue. Back in the 70s, all that area were burnt down buildings, graffiti all over it, trash all over the place. I mean, they used to throw the trash in the street, literally, because the garbage man never came to pick up all the trash. So in the 70s and the 80s, New York was more like a dump. Look it up. You know, there's a lot of pictures online that'll show you the environment that I was brought up in, okay? So that was Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Now us, my mother was poor. She, you know, she raised us alone. My dad left a long time ago. So it was just me and my brother. Right in front of our house, they had a clubhouse. Like right on the other corner, between 52nd and 53rd, they had a clubhouse there of a gang, which was La Familia. This was the outlaw gang. There's a lot of different, you know what I'm saying, the way people see gangs. Right now, today, you say gang, the first thing people think about is muscle man, tattoos, bald head, you know what I'm saying, teardrops, shit like that, you know, handkerchiefs, you know. That's all media stuff. That's all movie stuff. In New York, the gangs were never like that, or the groups, you know. These guys, these outlaw guys that I've seen growing up are like, you know how the motorcycle Hells Angels and motorcycle gangs or groups, clubs, they dress up with all leather patches and then they had their names in the back and all that, you know? That's the kind of gangs that were in our area. So right across the street from my house was La Familia. Then all the time we walked down towards 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue to go to the Coliseum because there was a theater there, you know, to watch movies, to watch the Kung Fu flicks and this and that, la-di-da-di-da-di. You had another gang, the Turban Saints, you know. My uncle used to live on 49th Street between 5th and 4th. We used to go visit him, another gang, the Assassinators. My other cousin, you know, I call him my cousin because we got raised, you know, together. He used to live on 47 and 6th Ave between 6 and 7. His name is John. You know, shout out to John. I haven't seen this guy in a long time, but he was part of La Familia or whatever. And his brother was a horny bastard. Well, the Bajocks. They used to be called the HB, horny bastard, but they were the Bajocks. Hold on. So I used to always see them in their outlaw uniforms. You know what I'm saying? With the MC boots and the chains and walking around all tough, you know? That's what I seen as, we didn't call them gangs. You know what I'm saying? My cousin broke it down very good to me. You know? My cousin, John. I call him my cousin. We were raised together. But anyway, they used to call him Cat. Not from 49th Street, there's another Cat. This was another cat. But anyway, he broke it down to me, you know, because I used to always be scared of these guys, you know. He was like, you know, they used to call me Junior. Junie, whatever. Junie. Those are bad people, yes. And there's a lot of reasons why you should be scared of them. But those are our bad people. Those are our Latino. Those are the ones that are protecting us, our neighborhood. So nobody else could mess with you and your family. So those bad people, those gangs or whatever, they're our family. So you got to treat them like family. And that stood in my head. Wow. So all these people that are dressing up with different, you got the dirty ones, assassinators, turban saints, and so on. La Familia, and so on. In Sunset Park, while I was 8 years old, I was seeing all this. Now, the building that we were living in was going to be renovated. They had to break it down and build it back up. My mother lives there till this day. I'll get to that story, but till this day in the same place, bro. 40, 50 years later, she's still there, bro. But anyway, we had to move because they were renovating that whole section is brand new right now. It's like Section 8 projects, whatever. But we had to move so they could tear it down and build it back up. So my mother chose a place to move in Park Slope. So we moved to 20th Street and 8th Avenue. Right there you had the cemetery right across the street. It was, man, I'll tell you the truth, it was beautiful. You didn't see the trash. You didn't see this and that, blah, 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 where we lived in that area. So, you know, now I see a different environment. I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But that was in the daytime. The nighttime, you've seen everything. You know what I'm saying? So, I lived on 20th Street. The store, any grocery store or whatever, was on 17th Street and 8th Avenue. Okay? So I got to walk from 20th Street to 19. There was a little bridge because there was a highway. Cross that little bridge, go to 18th Street, and then, of course, end up on 17th Street and 8th, where the store is at. On 19th Street and 8th Avenue, they had a bunch of, a group. I'm not going to call it a gang. A bunch of white people. They used to hang out in crowds, this and that, loud music, rock and roll and all. I used to have to pass them. Across the bridge, another group of white people. I used to have to pass them. When I got to 17th Street and 8th Avenue, to the store, now it changed to all Puerto Ricans. You had all-star dancers. You had the Park Slope Boys. You have the Floor Master dancers. Back then, FMDs were Floor Master dancers. So I seen the difference. I'm like, holy shit, hold on. Just in that little territory, it switched. So I was living on the white side. And the Puerto Rican side, I guess, was from 17th Street on. So I got picked on a lot. I got chased a lot. I got beat up a lot. I used to go to PS10, which is on 17th Street and 7th Avenue. And then I went to IAC 88, which is just down the block from my house. But almost every day, I used to get jumped, picked on, smacked around, chased home every day for I don't know how many years. Right? I knew about the outlaws. I knew about the groups. I knew about this and that. But I was scared. I was like, damn, but what do I do? So back then, breakdancing just started. Up rocking. You know what I'm saying? That's how it all started. You know? I got into the up rocking. I started hanging out on 17th Street and 8th Avenue. You know? I made friends with people in school that lived right up the block. So PS10 was right there, right up the block, 17th Street and 8th Avenue. I made friends with all them guys. And a lot of guys used to up rock. You know, that's how I started up rocking. Naco, Spice, and all these other guys. You know what I'm saying? So we started hanging out. So now I was hanging out with all-star dancers. They were dancers. So it started off dancing. I started hanging out with a group now. So it wasn't a gang. It was just a group of people dancing, having fun. Hip-hop started coming out. Hip-hop wasn't even out at this time, bro. Y'all probably too young to remember. Hip-hop started happening. All them gangs with the patches and all that, yo, they started dancing. Everybody having fun, bro. They started dancing, everybody. I was like, wow, I want to be part of that. Then I started breakdancing. You can see my videos. I got a bunch of videos there of me breakdancing. I took that to the extreme in the 80s, bro. I was nice. But that's how it all started. I knew about the gangs, the outlaws, and this and that. And now people my age are starting to dance. They're starting to, you know what I'm saying, stop the fights. And now they're up rocking, they're breakdancing. And I got into that shit, bro. And I loved the attention. I loved everything, you know? And you got so many people that got your back, that protect you. So I was a little kid, bro. 11, 12 years old, doing head spins, you know, getting into clubs with these men. Me. It's in my videos, bro. I don't need to sit here and lie. You know, I got a lot of pictures of me dancing and all that. I started meeting more people. Famous singers. I mean, I don't want to brag, but you know, a lot of times we used to go to the Bronx, Gun Hill Road, or the Bronx Project, you know what I'm saying, and meet high-class people. Groups, Rocksteady Crew, New York City Breakers, Africa Bambaataa. We went to Gun Hill Road, actually met Kool Herc, bro. No lie, I met Kool Herc. We went to his house, me and my boy Cosmo D. Shout out to Cosmo if you're out there. Shout out to Cool Herc. I remember him. He had this nice house. He used to live in a basement or whatever. And the thing was hooked up. This was before or right after Beach Street or before Beach Street that I met him, Cool Herc. Okay, so I went to Cool Herc's house. I'm not gonna sit here and anyway. Let's just keep on. So I got into that. Wow, you know. One day I'll make another. You know what I'm saying? So I started joining groups. Breakdancing club, this and that, la 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 la. But and then things started to change. Now we start hearing about crack. This was 82, 83. Start hearing about crack, this and that, and you know, people getting high. And I'll get into the getting high with me on another thing. We're not talking about that on this one. We're talking about the gang. Why did I join it? So far, I joined a breakdancing crew, dancing or whatever. Now everything is changing. Everybody's making money. All these guys that used to dance or whatever, you see them wearing jewelry, having fancy cars, you know, all the women, this and that. I was like, wow. Again, I want to be like that. And I knew everybody that was doing it, you know. And I got into it. Eventually, they fixed the building on 53rd Street and 6th Avenue where my mother lived. And we moved back in, I think, 1987, 88 or whatever. But I was hanging out every day in Sunset Park where I was born and raised. Living in Park Slope. Going back and forth. Every day to dance and hang out, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew people out there also. We went to school. I used to go to PS 94. A lot of them people out there started dancing. And, you know, it was a great thing back in once upon a time. In the beginning of the 80s. Until the fucking drugs, you know, they fucked it all up. And then there was this little beef, Bay Ridge boys against Park Slope boys. Yo, that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. And this is the reason why I joined a powerful group or gang or whatever to fight. So this is the main reason. There was a little war going on between two neighborhoods. Bay Ridge, which is Sunset Park, they used to call it Bay Ridge. So they had the Bay Ridge boys. And then you had Park Slope, where I'm from now. You had the Park Slope boys, which I'm hanging out with them. Kenito, Chalequito, Chinito. He's locked up right now. Chino Audio, shout out to him. You know, Big T, PSB. I mean, all these PSB Park Slope guys, and I know them, but they're having war, and I used to go back and forth. So there were times that I was caught in the middle. Yo, pick. Who are you gonna choose, them or are you gonna choose them? I used to choose Ghostbusters, but anyway, I had to make a choice. Who did I want to be down with? Okay? At first I was neutral. You know? Then graffiti came out. I started getting into the graffiti thing. Then everybody started writing graffiti, this and that. First graffiti group I was with, you know, besides the breakdancing and all that, was NBC, Nothing But Chi. That was our little group, NBC. Then you know, I started hanging out with the older guys. We were the younger guys. Then we had the older guys, TNK, those nasty kids from 61st Street. Shout out to Booby, Flex, rest in peace, bro. My brothers. Started hanging out with them more. Now with them, hanging out with them, we were breakdancing, selling drugs, getting into, it was more like a posse, you know, a bunch of guys having fun, you know. So it wasn't a gang. It was still a group, a club, a family, you know, a bunch of kids hanging out. And then I had another family member from 47th Street and 5th Avenue. They had their little thing with the DJing and the breakdancing. First they were Lords of the Turntables. Then they became Freedom Riders with the bikes and all that. And then they created this thing, Just Us. It used to be a group of breakdancing or whatever, Just Us. I never mentioned this, but now you're getting to know the real thing. So I joined Just Us because that was a family thing, and still hanged out with TNK. Because back then, you could do that. You could be down with 10 graffiti groups or whatever the fuck. I'm down with NBC, TNK, LM, blah, 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 blah. It was done. Now you can't. You gotta be with one, and you know, that's what I'm saying. Back in the days, it was way different. And this is why I joined the gang. Alright? So I was down with NBC, Just Us, TNK, and then over here ASDs in Park Slope, then PSA, Park Slope Association. They had the Bum Rush Posse also. A lot of guys from Bay Ridge and Sunset Park together. I mean, Bay Ridge and Park Slope together, or Park Slope against whatever it was. But it was the Bum Rush Posse. Now they were posses. We used to fight against the Decepticons and this and that. Y'all never heard Decepticon? I can't even say that word. Decept! In John Jay, when I used to go there, I wasn't down with the Bum Rush Posse, but we had a lot of confrontations with the Decepticons. Mind you, we're still groups, we're still crews. We're just, you know, growing up. Crack is spreading everywhere. All the outlaw, the gang members, whatever, they're into that. They're making money. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di. And then, beep, the bomb blew up. Alright? I say the bomb blew up because that's when everything started fucking, the beef and everything started. Alright? JU had turned into LM, Los Mafiosos. And I gave you the reason how we changed the name or whatever on my other video. I'll get into that another time. So, now I was full-time LM, Los Mafiosos, live motherfuckers. You know, you had to be live. You had to know how to fight to be down with live motherfuckers. You know, I started fighting more in the street against different neighborhoods or whatever. Boom. So all that was embedded in my mind, this shit. Everything was about fighting, and it was all right to dance, to fight, to this, to that. And then the war started with the crack wars. You know? Street gangs against street gang, crew against crew, or everybody was, I mean, this shit started getting crazy, bro. So from a family, crew, dance, posse, or whatever, everybody started becoming like a stronger gang. Using weapons now, using guns, cutting people, stabbing people. You know what? It was happening before, but I'm talking about me. Why did I choose? Everybody got their own story. So I'm seeing all this, so now I gotta change with time. So if they're not no more doing this, and now they're doing this, that's what I had to learn. So, of course, I started hanging out with people that knew how to break dance and knew how to fight. So they started showing me the 52. I don't know if y'all know what's the 52, but the 52 blocks was, they used to call that jailhouse fighting or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You do all this shit. Ha, ha, ha. And then basically, you have a razor in your mouth. Because before we used to carry razors in our mouth, I had to learn all this. So while you're doing all this, you spit the razor out, whoosh, slice them, put it back, and they won't see it. So it's basically quick. And I'm not bragging, but this is what I had to learn. People in the streets were showing me this because they were telling me, yo, Sage, if you ever get locked up, this is what's going to happen. This is what's happened. I started hearing more about Rikers Island, da-da-da-da-da. Mind you, I was 13, 14. I haven't gotten locked up yet. All right? So now I'm in LM Posse, which eventually turned into a drug gang, you know, selling drugs. And now we're fighting other clubs and this and that, you know? And a lot of people from Sunset started knowing each other or having beef with each other. And everybody started breaking up. Going their way. This one got locked up. This one's fucked up on drugs. I went my way. I got fucked up on drugs. I went away for a little while, and then that's where my shit started. So basically, I'm not gonna call it that I was in a gang back in the days. I'm gonna call it that I started off with crews, with posses, you know, a family thing. In 1991, 92 was my first arrest to go to Rikers Island. I got arrested a bunch of times before that, but first time being sent to Rikers Island. Like I explained before, in the streets, all my friends that were doing time that we were breakdancing, this and that, taught me how to spit a razor and this and that. Also taught me a trick. In case you don't have a weapon or whatever, you can do this. And they taught me the cigarette trick. That you burn the cigarette, and that's when I caught that first slice in Rikers Island for the phone, and I said it in my story. You know, I wasn't yet. I was learning about it. Then I went away to Phoenix House, and that's when I knew, you know what I'm saying, about the Land King. And I came down, boom, it's in my other story, you know. I started learning about the Nieta. But back then, they were running in like a gang, and I explained it the other day why. So I took that to the extreme. Oh, shit, this is what I want. I'm a bad. So I was saying, I'm in a gang, you know. I started learning about Nietas. So basically what changed me to join Nietas between any other gang or association or whatever, number one, when it was brought to me, when the man first explained to me that this is not a gang, we're an association, pro-inmate rights, this and that, we help each other. I mean, he broke it down. Luis El Viejo, if you're still alive, because back then I was, what, 21, 22, he was 40-something. And he was telling me about the association. I'm like, wow, you know, no una ganga, this and that. And I'm like, wow. That's why I wanted to become a nieta. Then when I went to the streets and I started going to meetings, I was hanging with the wrong people. These people that I was hanging out with, they all, you know, whatever right now, but they were running around like a gang, and I was following. Oh, shit, we're a gang now. So I was running around like a gang, so I was saying, this is my gang. But it wasn't a gang. Nietas wasn't supposed to run like a gang, and they fucked it up. And I'm one of the first ones to admit it, bro. And that's why I'm here sharing it. Yes, I was once upon a time. Yes, I did this once upon a time. Yes, I went crazy wearing my beads in New York. You know what I'm saying? Yelling de corazón. I did it all wrong. I took my sanction. Yeah, I got held accountable for that. So it made me more into a man to go through all this. You don't have to go through it. It took me to go through all this to become a man. Because even the gangway, and then the way I learned the association, how it really is, the experience made me a better man. So I guess I had to go through all the bad and to become good. That's why I chose to join a group, a gang, or whatever you want to call it, because it was all around me. It really excited me. The need of acceptance, to have a friend, somebody backing you up, you know what I'm saying, that they're family, everybody's doing it. There was nothing wrong with it. That's why I joined. Now they're making a bad name and saying this and that. They're all a bunch of killers because, yeah, times changed. People killed each other. But back then, it was family, bro. It wasn't a gang. So basically, that's the reason why I joined. I don't know why you joined. Everybody got a different story. Get on here and tell your story. Who knows? But once upon a time, I chose to join a gang, a group, a club, or this and that because I was scared. I needed protection. Need of acceptance. It was around me, whatever excuse. But this is my story. That was once upon a time. Now look, I learned how to become a man, a father, this and that. But I still slip. I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect. But the experience keeps me strong. And I'm here to share with you and let you know how I did it. I've been through all that you've been through. You could change if you want. To this day, knock on wood. When I said I ain't gonna get high on pills, dope, whatever, I still haven't picked up because it came from here. If I would have done it from here or for somebody else, I would have got high already, bro. And you know what? Fuck you if you don't believe me. Because I know a lot of people, oh, he's high, this and that. No, fuck you. I take this shit seriously. Like I said, this ain't a little kid's channel. This is a man's channel. If you want to act like a kid and talk shit, get off my fucking channel, bro. I'm sorry I'm talking like that, but you know, some clowns, you know, sometimes they want to act like clowns. They make disrespectful remarks. You know, maybe that'll work in somebody else's page, but not on mine. To me, you're a clown. I'll delete your shit, and that's it. But, you know, keep them remarks to yourself, bro. You know, you look like a clown. But anyway, once upon a time, I would have fucked you up, bro. But anyway, thank you for watching the Once Upon a Time show. My name is Said, a.k.a. Little Mario. And for those that don't know, check it out. The Once Upon a Time show, the Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, I used to walk like a thug, Grill on my face, she's like, I don't give a fuck. Fingers all crossed saying de corazon. I did it all wrong. I got my sanction. Too bad I can't tell you this in one rhyme. Go back and rewind and listen to Once Upon a Time. The Once Upon a Time show, the Once Upon a Time. The Once Upon a Time show, the Once Upon a Time. Yo, stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thanks everybody that's showing me love. Connecticut also. Shout out to all the nietas in Connecticut, bro. My man, Dan Red, what's up? I almost forgot your name, but shout out to you and all the nietas out there. All the primos too. You know, de corazón to all the primos. I call King's primos still. If y'all don't agree with it, that's on you. I still got a good communication with the Kings. Whatever. Blah. Peace. Check it out, y'all. It's me.